Welcome back to The Jumping Mystic. This is episode 23.
Okay, I have to know. I have been thinking about this, like, all week.
Uh-oh.
The garage, last time we talked, the boxes had a diplomatic mission?
They did.
Is the bubble wrap flag still flying? Has the peace treaty held?
Oh, we are so far past diplomacy. The bubble wrap flag, it's been retired.
Oh, no.
Since we're talking about maximum alignment today, it's actually perfect. The boxes they've evolved. They've formed what they're calling a collective archive.
A collective archive in your garage. That sounds significantly more organized and maybe a little ominous.
It's intense. I mean, they've effectively annexed the entire north wall.
Yeah.
And the workbench. And they have, and I am not kidding, started issuing zoning permits to the other tools.
Like zoning permits. You're telling me that a cardboard box is regulating your power tools now?
I am completely serious. I actually got a citation this morning.
You did not, from a box of old tax returns.
A literal piece of scrap cardboard stuck to the door with blue masking tape. Apparently my lawnmower was casting a shadow that didn't match their perfectly aligned signal.
And what's the fine?
3 washers and a dryer sheet.
That is, okay. On one hand, I'm a little worried about the power dynamic in your house, but on the other hand, that's actually the perfect metaphor for where we're going today.
It kind of is, isn't it? It's absurd, but it tracks.
It really does. Because just like your boxes went from being these, chaotic individual piles of stuff into a governing body that is literally ordering the environment around them.
Yeah.
Section 5 of our arc is about that exact shift. We're moving from individual expression into Section 5. Collective, archetypal, and maximum alignment.
It's such a huge pivot point in the map.
Yeah.
If you look at where we've been, up until now, the arc has been so personal.
Right.
It's been about finding your genius, your signal. It was all about me.
Very internal work. Cleaning your own house, figuring out your own song.
Exactly. But now, with Section 5, we're looking at how to scale that genius. It's about establishing a field that's so stable, so aligned, that it just creates a resonant effect on everything around it.
Just like the boxes are now dictating where the lawnmower goes.
Right. Your alignment starts to dictate the flow of your reality.
Hopefully with a little less bureaucracy for our listeners. I don't think anyone wants to be issuing zoning permits to their family members.
Let's hope not.
But why the shift? I mean, a lot of people are probably pretty happy just figuring out their own genius. Why do we need to worry about collective alignment?
Because individual genius, I think, has a ceiling. You can be brilliant in a vacuum, but you can't really change the room from inside a vacuum. The notes describe this as attuning to larger currents without losing your authenticity.
Right.
It's about boosting your impact through resonance, not just more effort.
Resonance is such a key word there.
It really is. The whole mission of these next few jumps, 38, 39, and 40, is to calibrate your timing and fit. Making sure you know what to offer, when to offer it, and who it's for.
So it's the difference between having a flashlight and becoming a lighthouse.
That's the perfect way to put it. A flashlight helps you see where you're walking. Personal utility. A lighthouse just sits in one place, totally aligned, and it guides entire ships without moving an inch. It changes the safety of the entire ocean just by being there.
Okay, so we have 3 incredible jumps to cover today that make that transition happen. Jump 38, 39, and 40.
Yes.
And looking at this whole section feels like the toolkit for anyone who feels like they're working so hard, flashing that flashlight around frantically, but not getting any real traction.
Absolutely. It's for anyone hitting the ceiling of what hustle can achieve. So let's dive into the first one, jump 38. This is called the Living Archive.
Okay, and this is classified in the source material as a timeline field jump. So for anyone new joining us, let's just clarify what that means. You're not meeting a person here, right? It's not a doppelganger situation.
Correct. A doppelganger jump is where you meet a master version of yourself. A timeline field jump is more of an immersion. You're stepping into a state of being where this reality is already true for you.
It's like stepping into a simulation to get an instant OS upgrade.
Exactly.
So in Jump 38, the Living Archive, what's the upgrade? Because I have to be honest, archive sounds a little dusty. Like a basement full of files I really don't want to look at.
It can sound that way for sure.
Yeah.
But the concept here is pretty profound because I think we all tend to look at our past like a photo album. Nostalgic, maybe a little faded.
Yeah.
Just static images of who we used to be.
Or, let's be real, a cringe compilation. A blooper reel of things we wish we hadn't said in 2014.
Right. We see it as baggage, something we drag behind us. But the Living Archive just flips that completely. It's about accessing every memory, every lesson, every gift you've ever had, but seeing it as a living internal library.
Okay.
It's not about nostalgia. It's about utility.
Utility, that's the key. So it turns lived experience into this wellspring of embodied wisdom. But how is that different from just, having a good memory?
Well, to explain this, the notes bring us back to our favorite pop culture touchstone for this whole arc.
We have to talk about the Coopers, of course.
We do. So think about Sheldon Cooper. He really represents the intellect map, right? He has an eidetic memory. If he needs a train schedule from 1994, boom, he can pull it up.
Instantly. It's data retrieval.
It's impressive, but it's rigid. It's factual. It's like a hard drive.
Both storage.
Exactly. Now compare that to his brother, Georgie.
Oh, interesting pivot. Because Georgie isn't the genius in the traditional sense.
Not academically, no. But the notes highlight Georgie's genius as this kind of sensory hardware. He can hear a tire leak just by walking past a car. He can feel air pressure differences.
Right. He doesn't need to look up a manual to know the tire is flat. He just knows it. He feels it.
He feels it in his body. That's the huge difference. Sheldon knows the data. Georgie knows the sensation.
Ah, okay. I see where this is going.
Jump 38 is about moving from Sheldon to Georgie. This jump gives you that same kind of eidetic access, but for wisdom and instinct.
So it's not remembering the date of a meeting, it's remembering the feeling of how to handle the negotiation.
Precisely. You're not pulling up a transcript, you're pulling up the felt sense of how to navigate a crisis because you've survived one before. You don't have to stop and think, what did I learn back in 2015?
You just have the data. It's available instantly to solve the present problem.
Exactly. It turns your past into a superpower.
It transforms the past from a story you tell yourself into, like a reflex you can use.
That's a beautiful way to put it. And the upgrade here is that it installs embodied change. You just stop repeating mistakes because the library's open.
The lights are on in the stack.
The lights are on. You start to move with the weight and authority of your full history supporting you. You're not reinventing the wheel every single morning.
That feels like such a relief. I think so many of us feel like we're starting from scratch. Every time we face a new challenge, we panic. But this suggests we have this massive database we're just not querying correctly.
And Jump 38 connects the query function. It integrates everything, the trauma, the wins, the losses, and turns it all into pure navigational data.
So that gives us the data, that's the foundation. But having the data doesn't mean you can use it effectively if your system is clogged up or if you're running on empty.
Which brings us right to Jump 39.
This one is the game changer.
It really is.
Jump 39 is titled, "The One Who Has Achieved the Experience of Reaching Their Maximum Potential."
It's a mouthful, but I feel like it has to be.
It sounds huge. This is another timeline field jump, but this feels heavier. The notes describe it as an immersion into a reality where you've activated full spectrum potential.
Full spectrum. So we're not just talking about being smart or fit or creative in isolation.
No, it aligns mind, body, heart, spirit, and creativity into a single, effortless expression.
That word effortless keeps coming up in the notes for this one. And I want to pause there because I think most people hear maximum potential and they think of the exact opposite of effortless.
Oh, absolutely. I hear maximum potential and I picture a training montage. Waking up at 4 a.m., drinking raw eggs, working until my eyes bleed. It sounds like strain.
That's the old model. That's the resistance model. The feeling of Jump 39 is described as total alignment. It's a felt sense of operating at full capacity, but, without the drag.
This is bringing me right back to your garage boxes.
I knew we'd end up back there.
But it fits perfectly. When they achieved maximum alignment, did they start, running around sweating and working harder?
No. They just got organized. Yeah. They stopped being passive piles of junk, and they started ordering the environment, annexing the wall, issuing citations.
As ridiculous as that is, it's the point. When you're this aligned, when you're in that state of maximum potential, you don't force yourself to fit into the world.
Right.
The world organizes around your signal.
Because the signal is clear, it's coherent. The notes use this great physics analogy about electricity. Think about a standard copper wire. It conducts energy, but there's resistance.
Right, electrons bumping into things, friction, heat.
Exactly. So maybe you put 100 units of energy in, but because of all that resistance, the doubt, the fear, the conflicting desires, you only get, say, 10% of the current actually doing the work.
And the rest is just lost as heat, which in human terms is stress, burnout,
right?
Inflammation.
Exactly. We're frying our own nervous system. Jump 39 is the difference between that copper wire and a superconductor.
Where there's zero resistance.
Zero. It's pure flow. 100% of the energy moves through.
So this isn't about practicing to be better. We're not going to the gym to build the muscle to push harder against the resistance.
No, this isn't a habit you build. It's an immediate vibrational upgrade. It aligns the vessel so your genius can move without effort.
So you're not adding anything, you're just removing the resistance.
You're just removing the resistance so the current that is already there can finally flow.
I love that distinction. It's not about becoming more, it's about becoming more efficient, being a superconductor for your own spirit.
And when you're superconducting, when you have that much power moving through you without friction, you naturally shift into the next phase. You can't help it. Which brings us to the final piece of this triad, Jump 40.
Jump 40. The one who guides with genius.
This one is a doppelganger jump. So unlike the last two, we are back to meeting a version of ourselves. And this is the leadership pivot.
The leadership pivot, because up until now, a lot of this has been about my alignment, my potential. It's been pretty self-focused.
It can be, yeah. But Jump 40 is the check on that. This is where you meet the version of yourself who uses their genius to lead, uplift, and empower other people.
It moves from I have a gift to my gift serves the whole.
Exactly.
The notes use a superhero parallel here that I think just makes it so clear. Professor X from the X-Men.
It's the perfect archetype for this. Think about Professor X. He has this massive power telepathy, but is his main role running around blasting bad guys?
No, not at all. He's usually in the chair. His real genius is leading the team. He guides Cyclops, he guides Storm. He creates the space for them to be powerful.
He guides other powerful people to use their gifts correctly. He isn't the star player trying to score every point. He's the one who makes the whole team win.
And I think that's a really hard shift for people. We're sort of taught that scaling up means being the star. We want to be the one holding the trophy.
We do. We're conditioned to want that spotlight. But Jump 40 calibrates your identity to service. It suggests the ultimate scaling of your genius isn't when you do something amazing.
It's when your presence activates the genius in the people around you.
Yes, you become a catalyst, the team leader archetype.
A genius revealer.
I like that. And the benefit listed here is huge. You uplift others with your gifts. You guide them to their own power. When you have access to your living archive from Jump 38, and you're running at maximum potential from Jump 39,
you naturally become a guide.
You become a stable point of reference in a chaotic world.
Okay, so let's look at this triad together, because Section 5 really does tell a cohesive story.
It does. Let's synthesize.
You start with Jump 38. That gives you the data, the living archive. You have your history, your wisdom, your instincts online.
Right. You're grounded. You know who you are and what you've learned.
Then you get Jump 39. That gives you the power, the signal, maximum potential. You remove the resistance so you can run that data at high voltage without burning out.
And then, because you have the data and the power, you naturally move to Jump 40, which gives you the direction.
The one who guides.
You take that high voltage data and you use it to empower the collective.
I have to say it again. It is exactly what happened in your garage.
It's hauntingly accurate, isn't it?
Think about it. The boxes access their history. They identified as a collective archive. That's Jump 38.
True. They took stock of what they were.
Then they aligned their signal, they achieved maximum alignment and annexed the wall, removed the resistance of the clutter. That's Jump 39.
Also true. They became superconductors of cardboard energy.
And now they're guiding the lawnmower, they're issuing zoning permits. That's Jump 40. They are leading the garage.
It's absurd. But you're absolutely right. The boxes are a perfect model of Section 5.
And if a box of old tax returns can do it, I feel like there's hope for the rest of us.
There is definitely hope.
Yeah.
But I think the takeaway here, the real so what for the listener, is about redefining what it means to scale up.
Yeah, let's land on that. Because
Yeah.
usually scaling up means more work, longer hours. It just feels heavy.
Right. It implies strain. Scaling up means achieving such high internal alignment, that maximum potential state, that your mere presence starts to act as a guide for others.
It's not about doing more, it's about being more clear.
Exactly. It's not about effort, it's about resonance. When you're a superconductor, you don't have to push the energy. It just goes.
You become the tuning fork for the room. When you ring true, everyone else starts to vibrate at that frequency.
You do.
Yeah.
And that is a much more sustainable way to lead and create than just grinding harder. You can have a massive impact without the massive burnout.
It sounds like a relief, honestly, to stop pushing and just start resonating.
It is the ultimate upgrade.
Okay, so we've talked about the concepts, we've talked about the garage, the superheroes. But knowing the map isn't the same as walking the territory. If you want to actually install these upgrades,
Right.
if you want to access that living archive or feel what maximum potential actually feels like in your nervous system, you need the specific tracks.
You do. These aren't just ideas to think about. They're experiences to have. You can't think your way into a superconductor state. You have to feel it.
So you need to go to the source. You need to subscribe to the House of Mystics YouTube channel. That is where the library lives. That is where you get the specific guided videos for jump 38, 39, and 40.
And that's where you find the music that helps you bypass the logic and actually integrate this stuff.
Don't just stare at the map, go take the jump.
Exactly. We're moving toward the end of this arc, and the view from here is getting pretty spectacular. But we are not done yet. So until next time, keep your archives living, keep your signal aligned, and for the love of everything, check your lawnmower for citations.
See you in the next upgrade.
See you there.